evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're now on the way to 12,300 subscribers. And of course, if you could click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. There's lots to get into today. Obviously, the plan mainly was for it to be the Aston Villa preview with that game tomorrow. There were a little bits, a few bits and pieces here and there to talk about. And then, here we go. And then we had the Ornstein bomber about an hour ago. So we will get into that. But look, there's loads of you here. It's a Friday night. We love to see it. Hyper, Jack Sachs, Woodsy, Pekka, Lord Ferguson of Aberdeen, Awatundi, top player, Layla, Saka the Goat, Lukey, Jakob, Brax, Wilzagod, Tom, Joachim, Emilio, Oslo Guna, Paul, and many, many more. It is good to see you all. It is the weekend. The football is back. Well, no, there's actually no football tonight, is there? I guess there's a championship game maybe. But other than that, let's get into things. So, Rory Legend, thank you very much. Finally able to catch your show live again. You'll love to see it. T-Nat gaining respect again. Said nobody ever. Apparently, T-Nat did say something about this last week, maybe. So, credit to him if he did. Still the best community on YouTube, Curtis Show TV. I don't know what that is. But I literally don't know what that is. Gyökeres plays today. It's always a good day when Victor Gyökeres plays. It's always a good day. Anyway, look, let's get straight into the Fabio Vieira news. This came from Ornstein. I mean, literally, I guess a few people have guessed that Fabio Vieira might move in this window, but there hadn't been, it wasn't like we'd had any sort of whisperings or build-up or anything. And Ornstein came out and said Porto agreed deal to re-sign Fabio Vieira on loan from Arsenal. He's not in the Arsenal squad for Aston Villa tomorrow as Porto finalised the move to bring the midfielder back after the 2022 sale. Marino's arrival with Nwaneri's rise have reduced the minutes, and the 24-year-old needs regular action. Yeah, so apparently Tina had said that there might be a loan for Vieira. So fair play to him. We did, though. Tina said it. Well, look, I don't subscribe to Tina's Patreon, so put things behind a paid barrier. People aren't going to see it, unfortunately. Fabrizio followed that up. He said the agreement between Porto and Arsenal for Fabio Vieira is a straight loan, no buy option clause. The Vieira deal is expected to be approved if Porto sell Francisco Conceição with Juventus still in negotiations. So, that is as long as the Conceição deal goes through, Fabio Vieira will be going to Porto. Yes. There will be a Tifo stream tomorrow. It will start about 5 o'clock, maybe a little bit later. But yes, Arsenal, Aston Villa, live on Tifo tomorrow. The link to Tifo is, of course, down in the description below. If you're brand new to Tifo and you've not used the platform before, use the code RORY, RORY, full caps, when you sign up. All wages are covered by Porto, though. Sounds like it. Yeah. It sounds like it's just a straight loan. They're covering his wages. That's how it's going to be. Can he play against us if we play Porto in the Champions League next season? Porto aren't in the Champions League next season, I don't think. I don't think they're in it. I think it's Benfica and Sporting. So, unless I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Fair enough. I didn't know that. Fair enough. Did he mention that it was Porto, or did he just mention that Fabio might go out on loan? Hopefully he finds his form again. Hopefully. Look, this is a good move for everyone, right? Fabio Vieira needs minutes. 100% he needs minutes. And if the plan is to sell him, then at least getting him into a team where he's going to play regularly can hopefully try and rebuild the value of him. As David Ornstein says, the rise of Nwaneri has basically pushed him out. And this, look, effectively at this point, effectively at this point, Emery is like number one backup to Ødegaard, like 100% now, and potentially number one backup to Saka. Probably not. Jesus probably is, but if you think about the fact that we've lost Smith Rowe, we've lost Fabio Vieira, all of those minutes basically are going to go to Emery. So yeah, it's good. He struggled with the physicality of the Premier League. He did a little bit. Look, ultimately, I do think you can look at it now and say it was a bad signing. Like I think he is a talented player. I think he is a quality player, but it was a bad signing. We spent 35 million on him. He's been here for 2 years. He's now going out on loan to get game time. And really, he'd been replaced in the squad by a 17-year-old. So, and someone said, the same window that we bought Fabio Vieira for 35 million, West Ham bought Paqueta for like a little bit more. And the summer after that, West Ham bought Kudus for like the same amount that we bought Vieira for. Imagine if that's where we'd spent the money. But hey, that's probably the only like significant miss that Arteta has had. So I think we can allow it. Didda, thank you very, very much for the 27 Corona. I know that now. Nico Williams, I have a dream. I have a dream. Well, that's the third thing, right? So first good thing about the deal, Fabio Vieira gets game time. Second good thing about the deal, Emery is now like he'll be in, if he's fit, Emery will be in a matchday squad every single week, guaranteed. Thirdly, I think it means we're going to go and sign a winger or an attacking player. I really do think it means we're going to go and sign an attacking player. Because if we lose Nketiah and Vieira, and we've lost Smith Rowe, and potentially we lose Reece Nelson, we simply have to go, like, whether or not it'll be Nico Williams, I don't think it will be Nico Williams. I really don't. But I think we go and get someone. I just don't think there's any alternative. I really don't think there's any alternative. Like, those minutes, we can't have all of those minutes going to Emery, I don't think. I don't really know what's happening with Paqueta, to be honest. He played the opening game of the season. So, as it stands, I actually don't know. I don't know. It does seem to hint at that, getting the wages off the payroll. Yeah, exactly. Thing is, Arteta doesn't tend to have youngsters occupy more than one position, so it should lead to a wide player coming in. Also interesting that Emery has not been involved in any youth games yet. I think Emery is literally a senior player. Like, I don't think Emery will play for the under-21s ever again. Genuinely. I think we are at the point where he is just considered an Arsenal senior squad player. I really do think that. Because there's no alternative. He has to be. We've got no one else in the squad. Like, if Ødegaard goes off in a game, Emery has to be the player that comes on for him. So yeah, which is amazing, and I'm glad. I'm glad that Arteta is actually willing to trust in him. Hi, Rory. Seen Palace are interested in Sterling. Are you not worried Mikel could do a madness there? I can see Sterling taking a salary decrease to join us. Yeah, we spoke about this yesterday. I am a bit worried. That we go old saviour complex again. I'd rather we went for Madueke. If we really insisted on taking a winger off Chelsea, I'd prefer it to be Madueke. But Nelson chilling on the bench with 120k a week. Yeah, look, Nelson is the final one that we need to get rid of. By the way, on the Sterling thing, Kaya Kainak today said Arsenal are not exploring a move for Raheem Sterling. Football London understands. So Yeah, Arsenal not exploring a move for Raheem Sterling, which is good. Which is good. Challenge videos will be back very, very soon. It's just because I've got this ridiculous cough. It's just very difficult to do those videos without just coughing. So yeah, they will be back soon. They will be back very soon. I really don't want Madueke. I don't think his attitude is right. I agree. I agree. His attitude is a worry, but I feel like Arteta could fix it. I do feel like that is something that Arteta could fix. What challenge? I do these challenge videos on TikTok and Instagram, but they've been put on pause. Just whilst I try and shake the cough. The other news that came out today. So this was mainly, there was a big piece from Miguel Delaney. Now, Miguel Delaney's like, nah. As sources go, you know, he's all right. Anyway, he spoke a fair bit about Nico Williams and the winger situation. So he said Nico Williams is Arsenal's preferred target for a wide player in the last week of the window. However, the current feeling is that he doesn't want to leave Athletic Bilbao this summer, with his preference to stay in Spain. Arsenal are likely to switch strategy if they cannot sign Williams in this window, instead seeking a Leandro Trossard-style purchase. The budget for such a player would be far lower, as the club reserve major offers for starters that they absolutely want. One issue influencing recruitment is Arsenal effectively operating off a different budget, depending if a player is a named target or not. It isn't quite a case of the club just being willing to pay a certain amount for a necessary position. Arsenal are willing to pay what it takes for those specific named targets that they feel would be certain starters, as could be seen with Declan Rice last summer. Nico Williams would be seen as falling into that bracket. So, look, I don't think we get Nico Williams. Realistically, I just don't think we do. I think it's very, very expensive. We'd have to pay his release clause up front. His wages are very expensive. And seemingly he actually wants to stay in Spain. Like, he wanted to move to Barcelona. Let's not get it twisted. Some people have said if we are still interested in him, that means that maybe the deal is alive, because if Nico Williams had just been like, no, I don't want to move to Arsenal, go away, we'd have gone away. If we are still there, some people think that maybe that means something. I just don't. I just don't. I just don't think that deal is on the table this summer. I do, however, think maybe there are cheaper alternatives, Trossard-esque, that we might well go for. And I think we have to. The issue with Lookman is that Lookman isn't much cheaper. And he's very close to joining PSG now. It was PSG. Lookman to PSG was on, then it was off. Now it seemingly is back on again. But he's also very expensive. He's like, they wanted 50 million plus add-ons and potentially adding in Kivior, supposedly. So yeah, I think he's too expensive, but I don't know who else there is. This is the issue, and that's why I end up falling back to like a Madueke or something. Saka getting compared to everyone. Now it's Rodrigo. They'll always try and prove him to some. They'll always try and compare him to someone. Always. Whoever said Zaha, please be serious. Yeah, not Wilfred Zaha. I mean, earlier in the window, I'd still have been looking at Eze. Earlier in the window, Eze would still have been an option for me. Johan Bakayoko is still potentially an option. Adingra from Brighton. The only issue with that is that I think he's very good. And I don't think Brighton would sell him to us. Certainly not cheaply. Nonto. Not sure he's good enough right now. It's tricky. Rafinha is one that, like, Barcelona are getting desperate, by the way. Barcelona, still, they've got rid of Gundogan. They've got rid of that what's his name? Faye, the defender guy. They still can't register Dani Olmo. They are still not able to register Dani Olmo. So maybe Rafinha becomes available. Yeah. Bakayoko is a bit of a Doku 2.0. But I don't mind that. Kudus would be amazing, but he's not cheap. And there's no way West Ham are going to sell Kudus at this point in the window. We should do a loan deal for Rafinha with option to buy. I I would not be surprised if it ends up being a loan deal. It's not going to be Conceição. Conceição's going to Juventus. So that, and by the way, if Conceição doesn't go to Juventus, or if until Porto get rid of Conceição, we don't get rid of Fabio Vieira anyway, according to Fabrizio Romano. So even for shirt sales, Rafinha would be massive. Is Rafinha that big of a name? I don't feel like he is. Kubo, I would not want. I think Kubo scored 1 goal this in 2024. Nid, good to see you. Good to see you, Nid. Welcome. It stinks of a Chelsea player. It does. It does. It really does. I can't lie. Trixie, welcome or thank you for being a member for 3 months. Trixie, you love to see it. Rafinha is crap. No, thank you. Love your Rory. We needed Elise. I don't know why the fuck we're doing this window. A 0 to 60 in 50 months. Yeah, I mean, Elise would have been ideal, right? Obviously. But he's cooking at Bayern. Elise is flying at Bayern. He would have been ideal. Sancho, no thank you. No thank you. I mean, yeah, I do wonder if maybe there are still moves for one of the Bayern boys. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Gnabry, bringing Gnabry back. Maybe there is still an option for Coman or Sane. I don't know. Kvara, again, I think Liverpool are in for Kvara, but Napoli want like 85 mil. So Sane be the one? Yeah, Sane could be the one. Some of the Twitter Arsenal boys trying to gaslight me into believing Mudryk is good. No, I don't want Mudryk. God, no. Yeah, he was awful last night again. He was terrible last night. Again, Musiala we're not going to get. No, it's difficult. This is the issue. The market is difficult to deal with. But I do... The worry I have is if we just keep Reece Nelson and rely on Reece Nelson. And the reason that I worry with that, right? I like Reece Nelson. I think he could be good enough. My worry, if we just keep Reece Nelson and end up relying on him, my worry is that clearly from what we've seen over the last season or two, Arteta doesn't really trust or rate Reece Nelson. Even though we gave him that new contract, I think it's quite clear that Arteta doesn't really want to use him if he doesn't have to. And I think that's a problem. I do think it's a problem. Have you seen what Servette Stadium looks like? Yeah, it's the Servette Stadium's the equivalent of like a non-league side in England. By the way, there's like 400 of you here. It's a Friday night. If you could click the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, I would be incredibly grateful. But mainly, just take like 3 seconds of your time to click the like button because it does really help. It does really help me. Dembele from PSG. Don't know. Would they let him go? Would they let him go? The issue with Mbuemo or Fatu, I can't remember how you pronounce his name. Fatawu, I think it is. At Leicester. The issue with them is that both of them are fundamental parts of their teams. This is what you've got to remember now, right? If we're going to sign someone, the window closes literally a week today. In 1 week, and in 1 week, 4 hours and 10 minutes, the window closes, right? The issue we've got is this. You're not going to go and get a player who is like a fundamental starting player in a team unless you pay massively more than what they're worth. Because the team isn't going to want to lose them when they've got so little time to replace them. So that's the issue with an Mbuemo or like I said, a Fatawu. Barcola, I don't think PSG will let him go. It's difficult. It's all these names, but Sterling on loan makes sense. I mean, if we didn't have to pay his wages, Sterling on loan, right? Sterling on loan with no buy obligation and Chelsea cover at least 50% of his wages. So we pay, let's say, we pay 150k a week to Sterling, and we have him on loan, and we don't have to buy him at the end of it. I don't know. Even then, I don't know. Chelsea won't. Yeah, but Chelsea might not have a choice. Chelsea are running out of options. If Chelsea are going to have to do something, right? Sterling still has over 2 years left on his deal. Sterling's total wages for the time that he's got left on his contract, over 30 million quid. Chelsea have to do something. It's going to cost them either way. Ansu Fati, no. Ansu Fati couldn't even perform at Brighton. Rafa Leao, again, is just too expensive. It's tough. It's tough. It is tough. Anyway, look, that's the sort of transfer news stuff for today. We'll get into the Villa preview. So Mikel Arteta today, well, actually, in his press conference today, Arteta was asked about whether he was looking to sign any more players. He said, or I actually can't remember exactly what he was asked, but basically he said, we have to. Anything can happen both ways, especially in the last week. We have to be prepared because a lot of surprises can come for many different reasons. We are prepared. So make of that what you will. Interestingly, he was also asked about Bermuda Guna. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Rory, I usually enjoy your content, but I feel that on other shows you don't articulate the positives of the team when challenged. You jump on the City bandwagon. Nobbins defended Arsenal's talents. I hear it. I appreciate the super chat, first of all. I do appreciate the super chat. But I just feel like, do you know what it is? I feel like sometimes Mo sets you up to like overly push your own club so that you look silly. So I was just trying to be balanced. Maybe I was trying to be too balanced and wasn't good enough wasn't nice enough to Arsenal. My point was, I felt like Gundogan is a big signing for City. That was kind of it. But look, I appreciate the super chat, and I hear what you're saying. But look, Arteta was also asked if Jurrien Timber can play in midfield, right? And this is interesting, I think. This was on a show earlier with it's the Rational League show on Footy Judge Mo's channel. But yeah, he was asked if Jurrien Timber can play midfield. He said, yeah, he can. He can play various positions. His versatility is one of his biggest strengths. I like this a lot. Because if Arteta genuinely considers Timber to be at least potentially a midfielder or a midfield option, really now that means that in the 6/8 position, you're looking at our depth being Rice, Partey, Jorginho, Marino, and Timber. And I think that is good enough depth. Comfortably good enough depth. Sutton Explorer, thank you very, very much for being a member for 2 months. Not sure I would be too happy for Arteta to repair Sterling's reputation, only for Chelsea to destroy it again in 25-26. Option to buy would be better. Yeah. Oh, an option to buy would be absolutely fine. Thank you again for being a member for 2 months. I really do appreciate that support. I agree. An option, great. If you can put an option in there, because maybe he does do really well at Arsenal and we decide to keep him, option, great. Obligation, bad. Because he might just not be, he just might not be good enough. And I don't want an obligation. But you're right. I would not have an issue with having an option in there. Tevin, thank you very, very much for the $5 super chat as well. I honestly prefer you on panels because you bring the right amount of shamelessness and knowledge about our club. Keep up the work. First super chat. Tevin, I really do appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. It means a lot. And welcome, and thank you for the super chat. So there you go. But yeah, if Timber can play midfield, happy days. In fairness, as Jakub says, Timber can play anywhere apart from striker. I wouldn't even rule him out playing at striker. He could play off the right wing. That run that he made into the box against Wolves, honestly, he's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. We have money to spend. Why do we need to go cheap? So if you judge it on what Miguel Delaney said, it's not that we need to go cheap. It's that if we can't get the big player that we want, the big player that we've targeted, so last summer that was Declan Rice, this summer it's maybe Nico Williams. If we can't get them, we operate off a different budget, basically, which is a lower budget. So when we went from Mudryk to Trossard, when we went from Caicedo to Jorginho, you know? Do we have money to spend? Yes and no. So we do have money to spend, right? If you actually look at our situation with PSR, we could probably spend another 100 million this summer. We could. We're not in danger with PSR. I think, and I thought about this earlier, I think the club know that we have some big contract renewals coming up. Arteta is one, but Saka's contract will be up for renewal within the next year. Saliba's contract will be up for renewal within the next year. I think the club just have it in the back of their minds, the wage bill over the next few years for the players that we already have, the wage bill is going to go up quite significantly. And I just think they're being a little bit cautious not to overcommit and then get themselves into a problem. So, yeah, I just don't think they want to they don't want to risk big money if it's not for the person that they want, basically. I have a feeling Brighton batter United. That'd be enjoyable. We 100% have loads. All of the incomings have been paid for. We've got a net spend of 40 million so far. We've spent nothing and our wage bill is totally fine. Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think we're looking forward. I think Ornstein said it at some point. The club is just looking ahead a little bit. Can we all agree to slap any Arsenal fan who pronounces Marino as Mourinho? Yeah, it's Marino. Literally exactly how it looks, right? I've heard too many people calling him Mourinho and also Moreno, like as if he's Alberto Moreno. It's Marino. Okay, good. What else have we got today? Well, interestingly, I was going to say Fabio Vieira is in training. That was originally on my list of things. He was in training, but he's leaving. So, how do you pronounce Marino wrong? Well, I don't know, but plenty of people are. Speaking of him, Marino is now in London to complete his medical. He flew in today, so he is in London. For Villa, Unai Emery said that they do not have any more issues with injured players. So the only two players I think that are missing for Villa are Boubacar Kamara and Tyrone Mings, and they've been missing for months. So, yeah, no injury concerns for Villa, no new injury concerns for us. Obviously, Tomiyasu is the only significant player missing. By the way, how crazy is it that Tyrone Mings is still not back? Tyrone Mings and Jurrien Timber basically got their ACL injuries at like the same time, and Mings is still not back. It's pretty crazy. You need to roll the tongue on the R in Marino, so you're getting it wrong. I'm not sure you do, you know. Do they roll R's? I don't think they roll R's in Spanish, do they? I don't know. Maybe. In terms of, in fact, I'll bring up the old. I'll bring up the old preview. Here we go. Let me bring this up. So, yeah, these are the injuries that we already knew about, obviously. I would expect I would expect Arsenal's lineup to basically be the same as the Wolves lineup. The only difference is maybe we bring in Jurriën Timber. Maybe we bring in Timber. I would quite like to see it. I would quite like to see us bring in Timber here. I think the rest of it will stay the same. I think we'll stick with Martinelli. I actually think because Villa do try and play a high line, I think we'll stick with Martinelli for the for the pacing behind that high line. So yeah, I think we'll stick with Martinelli. Zinchenko versus Bailey. Yeah, that's why I think it'll be Timber. That's why I think we need Timber against Bailey rather than Zinchenko. No Jorginho. No, I think we'll end up sticking with Partey, to be honest. I think Partey can split open Villa. So I think we'll stick with him. So yeah, that would my only change would be Timber for Zinchenko, I think. Arteta starting Zinni, 1,000,000,000%. Do you reckon? I think he'll start Timber. I do think he'll start Timber. I don't know. We'll see. For Villa, I mean, do you reckon they start the same lineup? This was their lineup against West Ham. Is Cash injured? Maybe no. Cash isn't injured. That's the thing. I like Martinelli against Cash in a high line. I like that. It's basically Arteta against Emery again. And realistically, Arteta does not have. Are we lagging a bit? We're lagging a bit. I'm sorry. Wait, we're good. We're good. Sorry if there was some lag then. I do apologize. Yeah, Arteta's record against Emery is Arteta's 1-1, we've drawn 1, and Emery's 1-3. That's the record. Which is not good, right? That is not a good record. That said, the away game last season at Villa Park, I thought we got very unlucky, right? Jesus should have had a penalty. The equaliser that we scored that didn't count, I think was I think Jared Gillett completely fucking guessed the handball. So I think we got unlucky in that game. The game at home against them, which we also lost, if we'd been clinical enough in the first 45 minutes, I think we'd have won the game. We should have gone into halftime in the lead. I think we'd have then played much more defensively in the second half, and we could have seen out the win. So I actually think, as much as, yes, okay, the record doesn't look good for Arteta, performances-wise, I don't think it has been that bad. Going away to Villa Park on week 2 is tough. It really is a tough one. A win is a massive, massive boost for us. Yeah, the Trossard miss. And this is why, right? I've seen people saying, oh, we need to bring Trossard in for Martinelli because of the end product. It's like we literally did that, in fairness, when we played them at home. And Trossard missed an unbelievable opportunity. So, yeah, I think, look, going there and getting a win would be huge. I think that would set the tone for the season. If we go to Villa and we win. Because the issue is, look, if we don't win that game, that's 2 drop points minimum already. You've then got Brighton at home, not an easy game. And then you've got Spurs and City away. Like, it's not... Look, it almost is a must-win. It almost is a must-win. As ridiculous as that sounds so early on. Because dropping points there would just be, City have got Ipswich, right? So, they're going to take 3 easy points. And I just think getting behind City at that point already in the season would be a bit of a nightmare. We need at least 12 out of 15 out of those 5. Yeah, I agree. 13, really. 13. If we're 4 wins and a draw out of those 5 games, I think we'd be fine. 4 wins and a draw. But it's tough. It's a very tough start to the season. I thought Villa did look a bit vulnerable to West Ham. Realistically, if Souček had scored in the final minute with a ridiculously easy chance, it would have been a 2-2 draw. So I did think that Villa did look a little bit vulnerable at times. But yeah, there's no doubt. It's going to be a very, very difficult game. In terms of my prediction, score prediction, Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1. Get your score predictions in the chats. I'm going in the chat. I'm Arsenal 1. I'm Arsenal 1, Villa 2. That's what we're going for. No, Arsenal 2, Villa 1. Arsenal 2, Villa 1. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1. That's what we're going for. But we'll see. 3-1 Villa, 2-0, 3-1 Arsenal. 4-1 Arsenal, wow. 2-1 Arsenal, 2-1 Arsenal, 1-0 Villa. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. 2-2. Arsenal 5-0. Imagine. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, that would be so good. If we went there and just had a comfortable win, like a 3-0 win, oh my God, that would be unbelievable. But no, it's going to be a very difficult game. Very, very difficult game. I would have liked it. Really, I would have liked it if we could have caught Villa a little bit later in the season when they've got the Champions League games going on. I think getting them this early on is a little bit unfortunate because they do. Emery teams in general struggle to deal with European football at the same time. I know they did all right with it last season, but yeah, catching them after a Champions League game, for example, I think would have been more useful. All I want is an invincible season in all comps. Is that too much to ask? Maybe slightly. Maybe slightly too much to ask. But there we go. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner. I'm going to give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards because we're starting now, and this is a difficult one. Clue number 1, this player played for 9 different Premier League teams. Clue number 1, this player played for 9 different Premier League teams. Clue number 2, this player scored 3 goals in 26 games for Arsenal. Clue number 2, this player scored 3 goals in 26 games for Arsenal. Clue number 3, this player came through the Arsenal Academy. Clue number 3, this player came through the Arsenal Academy. Clue number 4, this player moved from Arsenal to Birmingham in 2005. Clue number 4, this player moved from Arsenal to Birmingham in 2005. And clue number 3, this player scored 3 goals in 81 games for Liverpool. Clue number 5, this player scored 3 goals in 81 games for Liverpool. And ridiculously, and I don't know how, James Bidder was the winner, and he got it maybe off the first clue. Unbelievable from James Bidder. The answer was Jermaine Pennant, and James Bidder got it so early on for what I thought was a pretty difficult one. So massive congratulations to James Bidder. An unbelievable performance to pull that one out of the bag. Second was Milland. Milland was second. Brax was third. Logical Nonsense was fourth. And Harsh was fifth. So there you go. There you go. But that is... He's a Premier League slag. Hey, he is. To be fair, there are very few players who have played for 9 different Premier League teams. But do you know what? That was a hell of an effort. That was a hell of an effort. Those 3 goals he scored for Arsenal was a hat-trick against Southampton in a 6-0 win. Was at the game. There you go. There you go. The knowledge from Ross Lawman. Ross, if you knew that, why didn't you get the answer? Why didn't you get it? Can we name them? I can't remember. It was, Arsenal, Liverpool, Birmingham, Leeds United, Watford, Stoke, I want to say West Brom and 2 others that I can't remember. I can't remember the other 2. But yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot. Bolton might have been one. Yeah, he was all over the gaff. He was all over the gaff. Wait, why was Lee robbed? Jakob, why was Lee robbed? Yeah, Bolton was one of them. I forgot Pennant even played for us. Yeah. Well, there's probably a fair few people here that weren't even born when he played for us. Oh, yesterday. Forget about yesterday. Forget about yesterday. We moved on. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as James Bidder currently has. This player started their career at the Dundee Academy. They started their career at the Dundee Academy. They moved to Rangers. They went on loan to Ross County. They went on loan to St Mirren. They went on loan to Blackpool. They moved permanently to Blackpool. They moved permanently to Liverpool. They moved permanently to Stoke City. They moved permanently to Reading. And they moved permanently to Dundee FC. There you go. So Dundee Academy, Rangers, on loan to Ross County, St Mirren and Blackpool. Permanently to Blackpool, then to Liverpool, to Stoke City, to Reading. And they rounded it off by going back to their boyhood club, Dundee. Who's the player? Wow. Let me just double check. James Bidder with the dirty double. And that might be one of the highest level dirty doubles I have seen. That is sensational. James Bidder, take a bow. Go and tell your parents. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. He got it again. Charlie Adam, he got it ages before anyone else. Unbelievable. VV Vlad was second. Ross Lawman was third. Sutton Explorer was fourth. And Logical Nonsense was fifth. But that is impressive. That is impressive. He's done the dirty double. It's his first ever dirty double as well. What an evening. What a Friday night for James Bidder that is. Welcome to the dirty double. Welcome to the dirty double gang. Those that have done the dirty double before. It's an elite list. It is an elite list of people. That is fantastic. Is there Twitch tonight? No, unfortunately not. I am still... I actually feel more ill now than I have done in the last week. Because for some reason now, I feel like I've also got a cold. Like I've got a blocked nose. Most of the last week, I actually felt fine. I was just coughing loads. Now I'm still coughing and I actually feel ill. So, that is fantastic for me, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. But no, look, there's going to be no Twitch stream, but I will be back tomorrow for the watch along over on Tifo. Link to that is down in the description below. Use the code Rory, RORY, full caps, if you are new to Tifo. But other than that, please do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Click the like button and have an absolutely fantastic evening. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.